New construction makes up 1/3 of home sales, which is still double the amount of pre-pandemic levels. Is there that much more new construction, or just too few resale homes? 33.4% of homes that sold in the first quarter were new construction, according to an article from Florida Realtors. This is still about double the pre-pandemic levels prior to 2020. Why have new builds taken up such a chunk of the real estate market in the last few years? The rock bottom interest rates and the flexibility of working from home during the pandemic caused such a surge in home buying and such a massive demand from both buyers and motivated builders that in 2020 and 2021, they simply just couldn't build them fast enough. In fact, a graph from Keeping Current Matters illustrates this perfectly. After the crash of 2008, there were too many new construction houses because houses weren't selling and new construction was decimated. So it took several years to recover from that. And then with the boom of the pandemic, suddenly the demand shot up and houses couldn't be built fast enough. So it wasn't until just this year that the new construction inventory caught up. So even though it's making up more of the sales in real estate right now, it doesn't necessarily mean that things are being overbuilt. In fact, we've just caught up. The second reason that new builds are taking up such a chunk of real estate is there's not as many resale homes coming up for sale. With the rising interest rates, many people who otherwise would have sold their home to buy something else didn't. Most people that are selling right now are doing so because they have to. Death, divorce, job relocation. So while homes will always sell in any kind of market, whether rates are 1% or 20%, people will always be buying and selling real estate. But at a time like right now, if you're in a position to stay in a home and you don't have to sell, you're probably going to wait for a more favorable condition or a life circumstance that's going to force you to sell. And while interest rates are currently the biggest question right now, inventory used to be because there wasn't any. And now inventory is starting to catch up. Partly because demand has lessened with the affordability issues that come with rising home prices and higher interest rates than we've seen in over a decade. Look back at that graph from before. New construction levels have been below average for years and have just finally caught up. Just like any kind of pendulum swing, the trick is to get it to stop somewhere in the middle. If the rate of new construction continues to rise, the increase in inventory is going to put downward pressure on home prices. If there's more of something than there are buyers, the value of that something goes down. Depending upon whether you're planning to be buying or selling, this may or may not come as good news. But hear this: downward pressure is not a crash. It doesn't mean a plummet. It doesn't mean rock bottom. It means prices won't rise as fast, and along the way, there's gonna be some corrections. New construction can be a great option. Not only is it a brand new house, but they also offer lots of discounts and incentives. Just make sure it's the right builder, because quality is super important.
Because I've said it once and I'll say it again. The amount of time in the market is always gonna trump timing the market. So if you are sitting there thinking that there's a crash coming and you are gonna capitalize, I hate to tell you, the data suggests otherwise. I'm Lindsey Johnson, your resource for all things real estate. See you next time.